Yeah.
That's Ricardo at the Olympics.
So do your 20.
So did you train Ricardo for the Olympics, or you didn't know him at the time?
I did.
You did?
He was living with me for 2 years.
Can I record this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ricardo came here in 2019, right after the Pan Am trial, and we've been together ever since. He lived with me from 2019 till 2021.
Okay.
And then after that, now he's by himself. Did you find it?
Yeah, somebody's using it.
Okay. So Ricardo's been here for that time and made a huge progression. It's 2019. I didn't really know much about his past. After going to the Olympics and spend some time with him, I realized where he's coming from, where we got to go. He's really a guy that has excelled beyond, because most of his fights has been international fight. So Ricardo's last amateur bout, he fought the world amateur champion in his first bout at the World Championship and lost a split decision. And to be all honest, we thought he won, but he's at a very fast progression, because when you come from a country like Jamaica, you don't have a lot of access to competition. So almost from he's been 6 or 7 bouts, he's been fighting international, because he only had 19 amateur fights, but almost all of them has been international, fighting against guys from Cuba, USA, because even the Olympian that won a silver for USA, Ricardo fought him in 2019 championship. So he's been progressing really fast, and we expect in the pros now he's excelling at a very fast rate. We just recently got an invitation to go spar with Usyk. Sadly, we weren't able to accommodate the visas in time, but hopefully soon that will come up again, another opportunity.
Is there any other notable heavyweights that he's sparred with already, besides Usyk that they're planning to do?
Well, as I said, he's been in the ring with the current world champion, that 2019, 2021. He's fought a lot of good names. He's fought Cubans. He's fought all the top guys in the world. So he's ready for that stage.
So for the people that say he hasn't fought anybody his size, what do you say to that?
Shaq O'Neal don't have many Shaq O'Neal to play with. Shaq O'Neal is an exception, same like Yeo Ming. No different with Tyson Fury. There's only few heavyweights like Ricardo. That is actually the way the heavyweights are moving to. It's moving to a bigger generation. If you look at Rocky Marciano, 185, that's now a cruiserweight, and that's a small cruiserweight. So boxing have evolved like every other sport. Of course, being a big man is not going to make him win, but it's an advantage. But he also has to have talent with that. Because there's many big men. There's big men who do weight training who are 300 pounds, but they can't fight. Ricardo is big and athletic and very, very flowing. Like he's got good reflex. So when they say hasn't, that's not our fault. The guys Ricardo's fighting are pretty much the same weight as Ricardo. They just don't look the same. Ricardo's taking care of himself, and he's 6'7", but he's also solid. We have a lot of guys who are 6'1", who are heavier than Ricardo. That's not our fault. The guy he's fighting right now is going to be 6'5.5", a little closer to him. That's going to look better in a visual. That would look better to see him with that opponent than his future opponents.
So his opponent, September 9th, is roughly around the same height as him.
Pretty much.
So how are you preparing for this fight versus his other fights when the opponent was smaller than him? Do you think it's going to be harder for him fighting a guy his size, or it might be easier?
This will be easier for him, because the smaller guys you have to hit down, and people don't realize that's actually not always advantageous.
Morning, coach.
So your man is here, just talking to him.
Yeah.
Just kidding. So
give me a sec.
Yeah, Ricardo has got one of the issues with the little guys is because they're small. Sometimes he adapted that like going small, and I said to him, be careful, because now you're exposing yourself. Because the reason why Rocky Marciano hit people, they were going down to his level like this, and then it's all open. With the bigger guy, Ricardo can do this and get a safer distance, and he's not afraid to fight a bigger man. So it's, I don't know if you recall when Anthony Joshua lost to Reese. So I came in my gym and all my little chubby guys says, "Coach, put me in next. Look, Reese beat Joshua." I go, "You're not Reese. You gotta be good and little to be the big man. Reese is a good fighter. Reese is not your average guy." So it's the same like Ricardo. Sometimes people say, "I could beat your opponent." No. Ricardo can, you can't. So Ricardo made them look like garbage. So everyone thinks, well, that opponent is garbage. No. Ricardo is in with them, not you. So people don't see themselves, they see themselves like Ricardo. They're not, right? So that's the difference when people say his opponents are limited or they're not good. For us, that's $2 million.
Coach,
So,
even on video?
even on video. It's for proof.
Now there's proof.
Yeah, so you know, people always analyze themselves, not realizing apples and oranges. You're an orange, don't say you're an apple. They're different. So when people see Ricardo with his opponent, I remember coming out of the ring, one guy said, I could do better than that guy. No, you can't. No.
So what would you say is Ricardo's like ceiling? Where do you see him in the future?
Ricardo's gonna be a world champion. We don't have any limitations on that. You know, every fight he's excelling at an enormous rate. Sadly, we need rounds, but that's not his fault. So we're gonna have to get those rounds in the gym sparring. It's the same like when Wilder was coming up, just knocking everyone out, and people say, oh, they're all bums. Well, we now see that Wilder is a dangerous puncher.
Is it hard finding sparring partners for him? Like,
It's extremely hard because he's big, and when he shows a little tap, it's not a tap, it's a boom. So if he taps you like this on your shoulder, it's like, you know, we're other people. So I would say to him, Ricardo, easy, and he goes, I am. And I know what he's talking about, but he has heavy hands. He's 267 pounds. That's a big man, and he's thick. Like, there are guys who are 300 pounds, but they're not solid. A 260 pound guy solid is way different. That's like mass. So people, when he spar with them, even if he's not trying to hurt them, they can feel sometimes just the energy of him. They can feel. So what happens is they feel, if I hit him, he's gonna hit me back. So they become timid. And we need them to be aggressive. But they're going, if I hit him hard, he's gonna hit me hard. Right? So they're analyzing. But it's okay. So far we're doing well. I'm hoping the next fight we're gonna bring someone in, very experienced sparring partner for him next time.
his opponent has probably 3 times as many professional fights as Ricardo.
Yes.
Multiple knockouts.
Yes.
Do you think you know his experience is going to play a factor in this fight?
Experience is important, but also talent is important, which means Ricardo excel at the highest stage in boxing. When you represent your country, when you go to the Olympic Games, the pressure you have from that is the same as going into a world championship bout. That's why you see a lot of the promoters are looking for people who have high international experience, because they already have the nerve issues, they're ready for the big stage. When you represent your country, when you put on your country, your color, you now not represent yourself, you're representing your own nation. And that itself brings an enormous amount of stress on athletes.